You know what I mean?
Coach Eddie over here.
Yeah, it's like relax. Everybody's trying to blow up.
Sponsorship logos all over.
I have no
Like a
sponsors.
NASCAR
Puts on a
driver.
Reebok hat.
I have no personal sponsors.
Hey, are you working with Tony?
Absolutely.
What you been doing with him?
We've been preparing for Khabib for a long time.
Fuck
like
yeah.
for the Dos Anjos fight, we were preparing for him, but we were also preparing for. We're always preparing for the worst case scenario, and Khabib is the worst case scenario. He's probably the best ground and pounder wrestler ever, right? This is the toughest challenge ever for in MMA for 10th Planet. That's for sure. This is it. This is the worst case scenario that I've been talking about. This is what I prepare for me personally. My Abu Dhabi is at the gym when we have drop-ins, and since 2003, who knows who's going to drop in that night and challenge me. So I always prepare for the worst case scenario. Some drop-in who's 190, who wrestled his whole life, who's really good at jiu-jitsu, and what am I going to do with him? That first round, the only round we go with, probably one round, maybe two, I'm just focusing on stuff that he's never seen. Because if I come at him with stuff he's seen, then that's not a good strategy. Yeah. I'm gonna pull him into some uncharted territory, and that's what we're doing. That's what I've been doing with Tony. Is preparing just uncharted territory. We're gonna, the thing with Khabib is, he's undefeated, no doubt, one of the best fighters probably of all time.
He never lost a round.
Yeah.
One.
Like,
against
Connor. Round 3.
But you got to remember this too.
Quinta maybe.
There are a couple Khabib fights. We watch all the Khabib fights where you do see where you don't see the classic Khabib. Like with Gleason Tibau, that didn't go down like.
Oh fuck! I mixed the thick kid.
Crazy heavyweight.
The thick kid got knocked out. Yeah. Thick Boy Nation got knocked out. Fuck.
Jamie's over here watching the fight.
And he has a mullet like Theo. Fuck.
Well,
there's so many reasons I want to watch that.
What I was saying was there are some fights where Khabib
looks human. He looks human.
There are a couple. You also look at the Dos Anjos fight. He clearly won that, but there was things that he couldn't do that he could do with other people.
Because Dos Anjos,
he couldn't get past Dos Anjos' guard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It wasn't that easy to take down. Mm-hmm. And Tony, when you compare the Conor fight with Khabib, Tony wrestled his whole goddamn life.
Oh, Tony's phenomenal wrestler.
There's a light year difference between Conor's wrestling and Tony's wrestling, right? So you got that. Tony will throw Darce's standing and from all different angles while you're trying to take him down. So Khabib's got to worry about that. There's going to be Darce's coming on the feet.
Damn, don't give out too much, bro.
Everybody knows that. You can watch that. Everybody knows that. I'm only giving away stuff that you could watch on. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not getting.
Yeah, people know. Yeah.
Are you going to be in Brooklyn?
What was that?
You're going to be in Brooklyn for that?
Yeah. And so we're focusing on the stuff. When Khabib has his way, when he's in a fight where everything's going his way, it's against the fence.
It's a title.
There's a look against the fence that he always has. It's that same look. And then when he drags the guy down, it's that same look. And when they are halfway back up, there's that look. And then they're back on the fence. There's that position, that look, boom. So when it comes to Khabib, it's going to be the hardest challenge ever, right?
For both guys, though.
Yeah, for sure. But the advantage that we have is we know exactly where the fight is going to be if Khabib gets
successful.
If he's successful, and there's different phases. There's the stand-up phase. Mm-hmm. There's the clinch. There's the fighting against the fence. There's the dragging, and then there's in between the fence and dragging. We know where the fight can be. The one thing we don't know is how is it going to look? Is it going to look like, Khabib has his way and passes Tony's guard like he has against other opponents? Or is it going to be like Gleason Tibau where he's having a hard time taking him down and he's never getting side control, never passing the guard against Gleason? Yeah. Is it going to look like that? How is it going to look? They could look so many different ways. We'll never really know until they match up. You just don't really know.
I can't wait.
But I will promise you this, is we got all sorts of landmines waiting for
We
him
got
and
some
traps.
shit,
We
son.
know where he wants to take the fight, and there's going to be some traps there. All sorts of them, and no one knows about them. We're not talking about them, but we've been working on this for a while. So
Jesus.
who knows what's going to happen? Khabib has my respect 1,000,000%.
Oh,
that guy's insane.
But if you didn't respect Khabib, you'd have to be crazy.
Yeah, Tony
Can't be my friend.
Tony has so many goddamn weapons. So many.
He's a
He
utility
might have
knife,
more
yeah.
weapons. He might have more weapons than anybody in the history of the UFC.
That's fair.
He might have
It's
more
gonna be hard to argue. That's fair.
He's
think
such a
about
great
this.
scrambler too.
Think
He's
about
got
this.
so many different areas.
He's
of
good
his
at
game.
everything.
Think about this. In the history of MMA, who is known more for darsing than him?
No one.
Nobody.
No
No
one.
one's
Not
even
even close.
fucking
No
close.
The
No
one-
one's even fucking close.
And he catches him late in the fight when everyone's covered in sweat and blood, like Barboza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the darce is one of those techniques that is you could learn really. The learning part is the easiest part. Like learning how to do a darce. It could be like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
2 minutes. But mastering it and mastering it enough to be known for it and getting grown ass men who are experts at ground fighting on it. That's a whole. That very few people. Reach that status. Again, the darces. Everybody knows the darce. Every grappler in Abu Dhabi, like the last Abu Dhabi 2019, every grappler on the card knows how to do a darce. They know how to teach it. They could do a seminar on it, but no one did it. Only one guy, the Rutolo, one of the Rutolo twins. He's from Atos. That guy, like he was darsing, there was darces all over the place. Why? Everybody knows how to do them. How come he was only able to do them? Because he's strategizing for it. He's looking for it. And the strategy is not like a thing that he's thinking about consciously. It's in his DNA.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That's what he does.
Because he's looking for it subconsciously. It's in his strategy. It's in his DNA. That's how Tony is. Tony, man. And I'm not satisfied with him just knowing it, dude. We work on, he already hasn't mastered, but we're working on it even more and making sure that if Khabib is caught in one of those things, we're making sure that thing is fucking strong.
Did you
It
imagine
must
if he
have got you
chokes out?
excited when Poirier caught him in that guillotine, because Poirier had him in a guillotine.
Poirier's a black belt too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had him in the guillotine.
Yeah.
It was a good one, too.
You know
Pretty
what?
tight.
Anybody can lose. You know what I mean? Khabib is not invincible. There's some fights where he looked, like you said, human.
Yeah.
You know, and we watch those fights and we see where, he has, not quite an
openings.
yeah, they're exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
The big thing too is Tony's cardio is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
His
Second to
cardio-
none, man.
Second to none. His cardio
It's
is
so fucking good.
literally ridiculous. Because he'll have a crazy, super high, fast-paced fight, and then you look at him, he's not even breathing heavy. His stomach's not even moving.
He loves it.
And he throws elbows more than your average UFC fighter.
Oh, yeah.
He elbows are like his thing.
I think depending on what
Everywhere.
Khabib wants to do, no matter what happens in this fight, I see Khabib and Tony fighting a few times. I think it's one of those classic kind of
Hey, who knows,
trilogy
man?
ones, man.
Who knows?
They match up so well together.
Please, gods of war, get them together in April.
Well, I saw Tony
this is the
jumping,
fifth
running
time.
over tires.
No,
and
no,
shit.
it's old. It's
Oh, is that old?
It's old.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Man, there's this awesome Tony meme where it says where they're showing this guy from like it's like in the middle of a canyon in some like forest, and there's like he's like walking a tightrope. It's like some dude is walking a tightrope with like a balancing pole. You know what I mean? It says something like when Tony trains or something. Because he's extreme in.
That's what makes him who he is.
Yeah.
What kind of
yeah.
wacky shit is he doing when you're training with him?
Dude, he's got he's got this. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even want to talk about
You
it.
can't even really
Why can't you
fuck
talk
with him
about it?
either.
Can you give up secrets?
He's just on top of like the latest shit, just the latest training instincts, training reaction. He's super into like shit the NBA would be doing.
Like what?
I can't even explain it.
You're not trying to give away.
Are you
shit.
not supposed to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay,
I don't
that's
wanna talk
cool.
about
I get it.
Yeah.
After the fight.
Yeah.
Please
All
tell
you need
us.
to know is darces
Look
and
at
elbows.
that fucking poster.
Darces
God damn,
and
that poster's
elbows.
great. That poster's amazing. Although Tony is taller, that's weird. They have it like that.
Tony's
eye to
actually
eye.
way taller.
It's quite a bit
Good-
taller.
yeah.
It's weird they have my
He's got
like
super long arms too. That's why it's a darcer.
Yeah.
Those arms, dude. Those darcers coming from everywhere.
That
dude.
poster's amazing. Put that poster up again.
That poster's dope.
That poster gives you a hard.
That's all you need. Oh, dude.
Look at
That's
that.
the best fight in the UFC.
Go make it so it's the normal size. Yeah, look at that. Fuck.
They got that one right.
They got that one perfect. That to me is the greatest fight ever in the lightweight division.
100%.
The greatest fight ever.
Arguably the greatest fight ever.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
That's the greatest ground and pounder, right? Took out Connor, choked his ass out, fucking everybody up. And then here comes Tony, the fucking wild enigma coming at you from 1,000 different angles.
That fight gives me chills, man.
Just stop and think about what Tony's been able to do to people too. Like think about what he did to Cowboy. He just takes guys that look like world-class fighters and he makes them look like they have no business being in there with him.
Think about Pettis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
Josh
breaks their face.
Thompson,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That was a great fight too.
Kevin
great
Lee.
fight.
Kevin
Kevin
Lee, man.
Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he threw that spinning elbow and then he threw another one right after?
Nuts. He's so creative.
That's one of his most powerful weapons is that he does not hesitate to pull the trigger. He's never cautious. You know, a lot of guys, you know, you hear about these guys like the goal is to take what he does in the gym and out to the ring. That's the goal. If we could do that, he's going to be unstoppable. Tony, that from day one, anything he does in the gym, he's going to do in the ring. No hesitation. You know what I mean? He doesn't ever hold back on pulling the trigger.
It's a very exciting fight.
It's the best
Two
fight.
spinning elbows in a row.
nuts.
Has anybody ever done that?
Nuts.
I mean, probably, but no one at a level that Tony's fighting at.
Yeah, I don't think in the UFC anybody's throwing two fucking
can't think of
spinning
it.
fucking elbows, man, in a row. He don't give a shit, dude.